Richard Drax.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I will keep to time. I've got two honourable colleagues and friends here who are going to give me the 7-minute bell, so hopefully I will keep with that time. Can I start by saying that I do strongly support the government's move and the strikes that they are taking in the Red Sea. There was a rather amusing headline and picture of one Lord Nelson in the Sunday Times at the weekend. With the looking glass placed to his bad eye, the words emblazoned across the top of the page were, "I see no ships." I think honourable colleagues can guess what the article was about: the lamentable size of our Royal Navy. Over a week ago, the Defence Secretary, to his great credit, kindly asked me to attend a major speech he made at Lancaster House. He warned then that we were in a pre-war period, I quote, with the West facing very real and growing threats from around the world, as we've heard in the House tonight. The head of our army is warning of calling up the public in the event of the war. That's probably the likes of me, because there ain't anybody else. NATO Admiral Rob Bauer went even further: prepare for all-out war with Russia. And Germany is predicting Putin could attack NATO in as little as 5 years. With all this very much in our mind, why does the Royal Navy only have 18 frigates and destroyers, with only a small number able to deploy at any one time? Having had the pleasure and honour to sit on our Defence Committee for 4 years, I could provide a number of answers to that question. But I fear many in the House are aware of them already and who do not want to labour the point. To be fair to the government, 13 new warships are planned and £31 billion have been spent on upgrading our nuclear submarine fleet. But we won't be seeing these for some years to come, and the threat is now, and as I've said, very real. HMS Diamond, the latest Type 45 destroyer, and her crew are doing a courageous and professional job in the Red Sea. They are an example of our armed forces at their very best, defending a vital international trading route where so much of our trade goes through, and our thoughts and prayers are with them all. I'm going to keep going if I may, because we're getting to the end now. Others want to speak. The enemy are a rag-bag bunch of rebels using cheap drones, which the ship counters with £1 million Sea Viper missiles and, we understood, 30mm cannons on occasions. This operation is exactly why we have a Royal Navy. Meanwhile, the RAF is flying operations from Cyprus, a round trip of 3,200 miles. Why? I asked the front bench. We have 2 state-of-the-art aircraft carriers lying in Portsmouth, equipped with the latest F-35 stealth fighter. It's true we only have a few of those aeroplanes at the moment, but perhaps the Minister can explain why neither they or the aircraft carriers are being used. This very effective threat to a vital international trade route is sobering. These are Houthi rebels, and not some sophisticated peer adversary. What if it was? I accept in that scenario we be part of a NATO force with the US doing much of the heavy lifting. But this relatively minor excursion in the Red Sea is yet another wake-up call. For 13 years in this place, I and many others have called for more money for defence. For 13 years, various Prime Ministers have reassured us our armed forces are in good order and ready to fight. I have no doubt at all, that our brave men and women are ready for just that. But do we have the resilience, the numbers, the reserves, the ships, planes and armoured vehicles to fight a sustained conflict? If I may just keep going, forgive me, I don't want to go over my time. This debate is about the situation in the Red Sea, which puts the spotlight on the Royal Navy, which is so short of sailors that some ships are having to retire early. As both my grandfather and father took great pride in reminding me, the Royal Navy is the senior service, and there's a good reason for that. There is no doubt, Madam Deputy Speaker, that a very large fleet during the Second World War played a significant part in saving this country from invasion and keeping our vital trade routes open, not least to the US. The much-reduced Royal Navy again played a vital role in retaking the Falklands in 1982. Unfortunately, the peace dividend has continued to take its toll, and the Royal Navy is critically short of ships and sailors, to the point we are endangering the security of our country. Expenditure is all a matter of priorities, and this is where the government has to make priorities. Can we please have no more arbitrary targets on defence? I'm tired of hearing 2%, 2.2%, 2.5%. Can we ask the military what do they need to play a prominent role in NATO and to defend our country and dependence? Once we have that worked out, we can then see what we can afford. If we can't afford it, I suggest we reignite the economy, get growth going, raise the tax revenue by lowering taxes and putting more money into our armed forces. So, let me conclude. I am within time. So let's adhere to the warnings, of a growing number of eminent people and prevent, Madam Deputy Speaker, the situation we found ourselves in 1939.
House.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.